So, you spend most of your day working with customers at the One Stop Center. What would you like your customers to say about the service you provide?
That I was respectful, caring, thoughtful, and patient.
That I'm informative, helpful, and effective.
I'd like to say I was professional and met their needs.
Good customer service takes practice. What is good customer service? Good service means meeting your customers' needs in ways that have value and meaning to them.
I'd like to learn how to drive large trucks. 18-wheelers?
You've never driven a large truck before.
No, not an 18-wheeler. I have driven some medium-sized trucks when I was in the Army.
Tell me about your military experience.
I worked for a medical supply unit. I'm also interested in becoming a medical technician.
Well, which one is it going to be? Truck driver or medical technician? We don't have unlimited resources,
I thought you said good customer service would have value and meaning. To me. I'd like to learn how to drive large trucks. 18-wheelers.
What interests you about driving large trucks?
Well, I drove medium-sized trucks when I was in the Army. I think it'd be a good way to see the country. I love traveling.
Well, your military experience will add value to your resume when you seek your next job.
Well, I worked for a medical supply unit when I was in the Army. I also have an interest in becoming a medical technician.
Well, even though those are two different employment fields, both are growth areas, can you tell me more about why you're interested in each and what you're thinking about for your future? Resources are limited, but that's my concern, not the customers. It's more important for me to provide information regarding his interests and pursuits and then help him achieve his goals.
In the first conversation, I just felt like some other person that the case manager was required to see. But this time, I felt like she was actually listening and showed genuine concern for helping me.
A strengths-based approach to customer service operates on the assumption that people have strengths and resources for their own empowerment. It is the staff member's job to uncover customer strengths. Most customers are looking for something they need when they enter your center and are likely expecting that they will have to prove their need is genuine. This puts them in a deficit mindset. Altering their mindset from what I need to what strengths can I build upon to meet my need immediately takes customer service provision to a higher level. Now, meet Martha Fong.
I'm 60 years old. I live with my adult daughter who has 3 children. I'm looking for employment because my daughter was laid off, and I want to contribute more to the household. I don't want to be a burden to my family. I've been taking care of my grandchildren for the past 10 years. And before that, I worked at the Daily Times as a sales assistant. I was at that job since high school graduation. The newspaper, as you know, went under.
A sales assistant position straight out of high school. That was pretty ambitious. Did you like it? What types of things did you learn there?
I did enjoy it. I liked the independence and the relationships I built through the years. It seems like there was always a new accounting system I had to learn, but it was interesting and I always mastered it. I also had a boss that was very detail-oriented, and it seems to have rubbed off on me. But I wouldn't want to do that type of job again. I'd rather work with children.
So has your enjoyment of motherhood as well as being a grandparent led to your interest in working with children?
Oh yes, I also like working with kids at my church. I volunteer to take care of the children while their parents attend the early morning service.
Giving of your time and talents to others is admirable. Now tell me more about your work with children. What type of skills have you learned working with your grandchildren as well as with the children in your congregation?
Well, I think that children need kindness and they need boundaries. It's good to have some pre-planned activities to hold their interest and their attention. Otherwise, it's chaos. It's also important to remember that each child is an individual, and you have to work hard at relating with them just like you would with any adult.
You've built an impressive list of skills from both your paid and volunteer positions. It sounds like you've transferred your relationship building skills, along with your attention to detail, into your approach to childcare.
I'm feeling hopeful. It was hard coming in here today, but I think I can work with these people.
What made that interaction strengths-based? Let's break it down. 1. Case manager believes in the customer's potential. 2. Concrete statements from the case manager identify strengths to assist the customer in developing her own strengths-based perspective. 3. Customer is encouraged to identify her skills. 4. Case manager identifies specific skills and how they transfer. 5. Case manager reinforces the fact the customer has skills to build upon. 6. Case manager does not see the customer's age or the time spent away from paid employment as reasons she will not succeed. Now, let's take a further look at Joseph Youngblood.
I'm a veteran. I'm 37 years old. I'm interested in obtaining some training on how to drive semi-trucks for long-distance hauling. We have a family business and it's been suffering ever since the Walmart opened up just outside our reservation. I think it's time that I learn some additional skills so I can better support my family.
What did you like most about your experiences in the military?
I served at the medical supply unit and I've often thought about becoming some sort of healthcare technician.
Have you had an opportunity to explore the fields of health technology?
Not really. I know that I'd have to go back to school. That's why I think it's important that I learn how to drive an 18-wheeler and make money soon.
Okay. These seem like very different ambitions, but let's work together to get to where you want to be. Did the military present any unusual or unexpected challenges for you?
Mostly I liked the military, especially for the fact that I got to see parts of this world that I wouldn't see otherwise. But it was difficult being away from my family for such long periods.
You mentioned missing your family. Do you think a truck driving schedule is going to be difficult for you?
Well, being away from my family for such a long period of time, I didn't like. But with truck driving, I think I'd see them like once a week. My wife could pick up my hours at the store, and I think she'd like to get out of the house now that the kids are old enough to go to school.
Okay, how about we set you up with job shadowing opportunities so then you can get more insight and get your questions answered directly from the source, and then we could get you started on formal training. Hi, Joseph.
Hey, how are you? I thought I'd stop in and let you know how things are going.
How are things going?
They're going great. I've been working for the Acme Transport Company. Since the last time you see me, I've been to the East Coast 4 times. You know, I only can see myself doing this for a few more years. Driving really takes it out of you. And I think being a health technician looks more and more inviting. Well, thanks to the job shadowing, you know, I know I like the work. I think in the next year I'd like to discuss on how I could go to school and keep working.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that things are working out for you. And yes, there are certainly ways to start a training program while keeping your current job. Here are some websites that you might want to look at to research different types of health technology jobs and the training required. Take a look at it, let me know what you think, and come back when you're ready, and I'll see you again.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
The day that I decided to come here was a great day.
Meet Stuart Cooper.
Often we experience what might be described as a good job interview without actually getting the position. Have you had that experience? Can you tell me any aspects of that interview that you enjoyed?
I thought the interviews went well once the interviewers got used to me using an interpreter. Since I read lips, I was faster with my responses than they were with their new questions. Between my resume and the interview, I felt I was able to show my experience and readiness for the positions. No one discussed my deafness, but I am sure that it was the barrier to getting hired.
You know, it's interesting you say that. With all the laws regarding bias and discrimination, the interviewer may have been fearful of directly addressing your deafness. How do you feel about bringing it up in a discussion as you have with me?
Do you think that would work? I don't want anyone to think I'm asking for preferential treatment.
I think it's worth a try. If you take an approach that speaks to your strengths in relation to the deafness, then you can avoid any thoughts that you are asking for preferential treatment. For instance, you might say something like, I'm really interested in becoming an editor and know that I will be very good at the job. We have not yet discussed my deafness. So, would you like to talk about how I would go about performing my tasks and communicating with my other staff members?
Interesting. I guess it deserves a try. It would certainly change the atmosphere I've been experiencing in the interviews.
And we can set up a time for you to practice your interviewing skills right here.
Most people are not aware of their potential or the full value of their experiences. Also, they are likely not to know how their skills transfer from life experiences and jobs. It is helpful to consider a person's past, present, and future in a continuum. Thanks for watching Opening Doors for Everyone. Remember, all of your customers have strengths. Believe in their potential and work in partnership with them from the time they walk in the door until they're on their career path.